Next up on our Media Day event, the Woodville Panthers under head coach Rob Murphy. Coach Murphy, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and your basketball team going into the season.
Sure. A little bit about myself. I have 4 kids between the ages of 6 months and 7 years old, so my life is pretty lively. It's my first year at Woodville. I'm excited for the opportunity. Really enjoyed the time I've spent with the kids so far, as well as in the community. It's my 13th year as a head basketball coach at the varsity level. I love doing it. I've never been really a full-time employee at school. I've done other things for work. So outside of coaching basketball, I do job recruiting and HR type stuff. It's pretty boring. I won't bore you with it. But prior to coaching high school basketball, I coached AAU for a while, and while I was in college, started some AAU programs in Nashville and then in Knoxville, Tennessee, where I was living at the time. I was fortunate to have a chance after playing at Lipscomb University to walk on with Coach Pearl at Tennessee, and had a good time with that. Played for him as well as Coach Conzo Martin, who came after him. So I was coaching AAU basketball through those years, and then had my first high school job in 2013.
All right. Tell us a little bit about what you expect out of your team this year.
I expect them to work hard and work for each other. And we talk a lot about servant leadership, and we talk about building habits that are going to serve you well in life. I expect these guys to be drinking water and not soda. We've had a lot of conversations about that. I've had the opportunity to dump out some Dr. Pepper on numerous occasions when we're all together. And I expect these guys to take care of themselves and take care of each other.
What's your basketball philosophy?
I want to be the team that plays harder than the other team. I know that's real cliche, but it really is what I believe in. And, we're going to be flexible about X's and O's as it relates to what your roster looks like, what your opponent looks like. I've run every offense and defense that there is at various times. I've always been at smaller schools, and it's not like college. You're not recruiting players to fit a certain scheme. You look at who's on your team and you build offense and defense based on who you have and how to highlight their strengths and hide their weaknesses.
What did you know about Woodville basketball, Woodville High School, before taking this job?
Yeah, I knew it decently well. For a while there, I coached against Woodville for several years. I don't remember exactly which years it would have been, but I've probably coached against Woodville 6 or 8 times in the past, and so I knew Coach Smith, and I knew several of the former players who are actually coaching with me now at Woodville. So I coached against Blake Frazier and Caleb Dahlberry, who are helping me coach now at Woodville. And I had gotten to know those guys over the years. I'd even played some men's league basketball with Blake, and we've known each other, and I've known some people in the Woodville community for a while. So it wasn't like a totally new, unfamiliar territory at all.
From your prior coaching career, even your playing career, what are the positive things you hope to bring and feel like you bring to Woodville basketball?
I want kids to learn to love working hard. And that's what I'm trying to bring to any team that I coach, is really the bottom line, is to love working hard, to learn that if you want to accomplish something, you actually do want to work hard. It's not ever something where it's like, well, I don't really want to. It's like, well, actually, no. If you want to accomplish the things that you say you want to accomplish, and actually you do want to get this work in so that you can be ready to do that thing. I want to instill an enjoyment of hard work, and these guys can tell you, we don't run for punishment, because running's not a punishment. Running's something that we should embrace and enjoy, and it's getting us ready to play and ready to win. And punishment for us is you get suspended or you get bumped off the team. If you're not going to do things the way we do them, then you don't get the privilege of being a part of what we're doing. And so I want to instill a love of hard work and servant leadership, as I mentioned earlier.
For the players, what's it been like getting to know Coach and this kind of the way he does things?
I personally, when he first came here, I felt a deep connection that, I felt this was an upgrade from our last coach. And I don't mean nothing bad on our past coach's behalf. I just think with Coach Rob, I think we can maybe make it to the playoffs this year.
Next.
Coach Rob has been a great addition to Woodville basketball. All of his philosophies on drinking water, no added sugars.
Avery, by the way, is a big Dr. Pepper guy. We've been working
Big
hard
Dr.
on
Pepper
that.
guy, recovering addict.
Recovering Dr. Pepper enthusiast.
Yeah, but he just cares more, and that's really pushing us to be a better person.
Hey guys, don't talk about Coach Smith, okay?
Yeah.
Don't talk about Coach Smith. Say it better.
Next.
Like what Avery said, he actually cares about us. And he's helped me lose like 30 pounds and to get where I am. And yeah.
It sounds like I heard a football coach one time tell his players after every practice, good things in, good things out. So that's why.
Hey, absolutely. Yes, there's no doubt about it. And, you only get one body.
Yes. I'm assuming you've watched film of last year's team, or at least familiar with their play. How will it be different this year from past seasons?
I think that it'll be different in a number of ways, and kind of to the point that I mentioned earlier, I'm sure a lot of it will just be different personnel. It's different kids. I mean, we are going to have a very different team from a personnel perspective than the last couple of years. They've had a lot of guys who were good players last year, did well, had a good season. Last 2 years, they've had some really good teams. And Avery is the only starter returning, and so it's just different faces. And so with that, kind of to the point I mentioned earlier, it's going to look different because it's going to be different schemes and styles. And, in 2 more years when these guys are gone, it'll look different again.
Jason?
Coach, when you were at Whitesburg, you played some of these the teams on the 1A level that you're going to face now in your area. Just kind of what's your thoughts on the teams in your area?
Yeah, it's a strong area for sure. Oakwood and Skyline are always going to be good. Played them more often than any of the other teams. I haven't seen the others for several years, but very familiar with Oakwood and Skyline. Played them both multiple times, and they've both had some really good teams, as we all know. So it's definitely a good challenge for us, but that's the way we want it to be. We don't want to have an area where it's really, really weak and you just kind of make the playoffs by default or get, we want to have a challenge in front of us. We want to have good teams. It's, beating bad teams is boring. Beating good teams is fun.
What's the strength of this team going to be, you feel?
I think we have a good spirit about us. I think that we have guys who have good relationships with each other. I think that's our greatest strength because I've been in situations where when you don't have that in place, when you just have certain guys that just don't really like each other for whatever reason, or there's some rivalries or jealousy or whatever it may be, man, it just tears everything down. It's just really, really hard to deal with that as a coach. And it's hard to get certain kids to like each other when they don't like each other. And we don't really have any of that on this team, which is great. That's probably the thing I'm most excited about. And it really extends into the community. Woodville's just a great community. I'm just thankful to be a part of it. I think we're all going to have fun together.
Jason asked the players a few minutes ago, I guess a question relating to you as their head coach. Is there a learning curve? Has there been a learning curve on what you want to do this year compared to what they've done in the past?
Yes, and I think that, obviously anytime there's a new coach, everything's going to be new and different, and there definitely has been a learning curve. And, we went out in June, and, June was rough. I mean, we weren't in shape, and we didn't have, outside of Avery, really any heavy varsity experience at all. And we had, I was only hired in like late May. So, I mean, we had maybe a week to try to scratch some practices together. I'm trying to figure out who's even on the team, and we practiced a little bit. I'm just trying to get organized, get jerseys on kids. Hey, do you guys already know how to run 2-3 zone? I hope so. And meeting people for the first time. I'd only seen they weren't on varsity film, and so I hadn't seen him at all. There's nothing to look at, and so yes, it's been a learning curve for me. I'm sure as much or more than it has been for them, but we have started to get in a good rhythm. It's really nice to be able to see them every day, of course, now that school has started, and just get in a better rhythm.
Talk about the three players sitting to your right. What each of them bring to this team?
Sure. So, as I mentioned, Avery has varsity experience, and that means a lot. It goes a long way. Avery's a real well-rounded player. He's going to help us on all three phases of the game, offensively, defensively, and rebounding. And he's going to be a very, very steady guy for us, probably the player that we are expecting the most out of this year. Ashton is a talented guy. He has a natural feel for the game. His ability to create some separation on offense, generate some offense, run the offense, make some shots. He's definitely able to bring shot making to the table and sees the floor well. So we're excited about his capability to do those things and working on some of the other aspects of the game. And then James brings some great intensity on the defensive end, rebounds well. He's worked really hard on his shot. He's going to have more opportunity in practice upcoming here to get more reps shooting in game situations, but he's been working really hard on that shot over the summer and on his skills. So that'd be a quick overview of these three guys.
All right. For each of y'all personally, James, what do you want to improve on for this season from past seasons?
I really need to focus on my confidence, because on my past two JV seasons, it's like as soon as I get the ball, I just don't know what to do with it, and I just pass it. So I'm trying to not do that this year and get my confidence up.
Ashton?
Probably like the defensive side. I'm not really good at defense. I'm slower than them, and they just go around me, so I'm trying to improve my defense.
All right. Avery?
Without a doubt, shooting. Before this summer, everybody would be scared when I shoot the ball, but I definitely have worked on it. So, yeah.
Coach, you really got the unknown heading into the season. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
when they take the floor for that first time this year, what do you want to see out of them?
I want to see them playing with intensity, swarming the floor, and being in better shape than the opponent. I just want to see us playing harder, especially in the fourth quarter. If we're doing that, then we'll be fine. We'll compete in every game we play. There's nobody on our schedule that's gonna just run us out of the gym if we're prepared, if we're in shape, if we know what we're doing, and we're playing the right way.
Well, good luck to y'all. Appreciate y'all joining us today. Coach Rob Murphy with the Woodville Varsity Boys and our players Avery Arnold, Ashton Holt, James Hilliard. Good luck to y'all this year.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.